Empowerment. You hear that word everywhere. But let's be real for a second. Do you actually feel empowered when you're watching these motivational videos? You watch, you nod, and then you tell yourself, wow, that was inspiring, but then nothing changes. So that's why I'm here. I want to help you break the cycle. Because real empowerment isn't just believing in yourself or thinking positive. It's about understanding how your brain is wired, how hidden forces control your behavior, and how to take back control. By the end of this video, my hope is that you're able to walk away and find a totally different perspective on seeing yourself. And this new perspective will lead to action. Alright, let's get into it. Now, I first want to ask you, who's actually in control of your life? Now, most people's reaction to that, including myself, would be, well, I'm in control. But the truth is, most people feel powerless, where they're stuck in bad habits, waiting for motivation, and making the same mistakes over and over and over again. And trust me, I've been there. Now, here's the crazy part. Feeling in control, whether you actually are or not, makes you a more powerful person. In a study, researchers had people complete a stressful task with loud and annoying background noise. Now, half of the people had an off button that would turn off the loud and annoying noise, and the other people didn't. And the people with the button actually performed way better even though they didn't even use the button. Just knowing they had control changed their brain's way of thinking about the stress. This means that if you design your environment in a way that makes you feel in control, like moving things around and giving yourself an option between A and B, you're gonna more likely choose the better option and take action. I mean, there was a time in my life that I remember, and it was recent actually, where I would spend my time playing video games over and over and over again for hours on end when I knew I had other things to do. But the issue was I didn't have those things displayed to me. I didn't have the great things that I needed to do displayed in front of me. When I had the option where I had my controller next to me and the work next to me, the odds that I got the work done and me feeling more in control was much higher than when I had my notebook set aside or my homework not on my computer. I felt more in control. Now, moving on, everybody tells you to think positive, right? Now, there's some bad news. That's actually making you weaker. Now, psychologist Gabrielle Ottingen actually came to the conclusion that people that fantasized about success and imagined the perfect outcome, they actually achieved less. It's because their brain got dopamine from the thought alone. So it feels like they already won, so they end up putting in less effort to actually achieve what they want. This is exactly why people feel so stuck in self-improvement mode. They love planning, journaling, and visualizing their future, but they never actually end up moving. Now, the solution to this is actually mental contrasting. Instead of just visualizing the success and writing it down, actually pair it with the reality of things. Here's a 4-step plan that actually puts this into action. Number 1 is determining what do you want. For example, I want to start a business. And then next would be determining the best outcome. And for a lot of people that would be having financial freedom. And then number 3, which is really important, is actually determining what the biggest obstacle will be to achieving this goal. And for a lot of people, it's I'm afraid of failing. And then from there, you determine your plan. And you don't make it some big overarching plan that seems so daunting. Just start with my first $100 online. This method is backed by decades of research and increases your likelihood of success by 80%. Now let's talk about the voice in your head. This is the voice that says, who am I to do this? I'm not smart enough and I'm not ready. The good news is the doubt means that you're actually ready. Psychologists found that high performers are actually more likely to feel imposter syndrome. Meanwhile, people who think they are great are actually less competent than they believe. This is called the Dunning-Kruger effect. This means that if you're doubting yourself, it's not because you're not good enough. It's actually because you're aware of how much you don't know. And this means that you're actually ahead of the people who don't even question themselves. See, there's a bunch of times in my life where I feel like I'm so far behind of other people when actually I'm realizing things about myself that people don't even think about. I'm in college and there's people around me that are just waiting for the next internship or just waiting to graduate so they can work the 9 to 5. I'm thinking about what my life can look like in a couple years if I put in the work on myself and myself only. Now, have you ever wondered why people just feel naturally disciplined? And I'll tell you, it's not willpower, it's how they see effort. A study at Stanford found that people who actually believed willpower was limited quit faster. But the people who believed effort creates more effort achieved more and worked harder and pushed through. An easy translation to this is the more you act, the more you're going to be able to act in the future. So here's how to apply this in real life. Instead of telling yourself I'm bad at focusing, say I'm getting better at focusing, or even better than that, I am focused all the time. Or instead of waiting to feel motivated, complete one small task, even the smallest thing that you can possibly think of to get it going, and that momentum will build over time and you'll be able to achieve more and more and more until the tasks are a whole day long. So the key to empowerment is not waiting to feel ready. Confidence doesn't come before action, it comes because of action. Now this is my favorite part. If you want to feel more powerful instantly, empower other people. And the reason for this is because when you help other people, you're telling your brain that you're smart, you're valuable, and you're capable. Teaching something you know, no matter how big or small it is, reinforces your competence. So after this video, I want you to think about one person that could use advice, no matter how big or small it is. Send them one piece of advice and notice how your mindset changes and how you feel afterwards. Empowerment isn't something you get, it's something you give. All I'm looking to do is help you guys out with my personal experiences, as I'm in a very similar position to a lot of you watching this video. If you want any advice and you want to talk in the comments, if you have any advice for me, I'd love to hear it, but I really appreciate you being here. Now forget the fluffy self-help advice. This is real empowerment. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.